welcome to Hudson Raider football on the River Channel. We're just about to get underway here in the Highway 35 battle. It's Hudson hosting River Falls tonight. This is the 97th meeting between these two teams. They first played back in the year 1900. It's the 10th longest running series in the state of Wisconsin. And of course, we're playing for the Little Brown Jug. Our rivals to the south of us, the River Falls Wildcats. Up here in our home field, Newton Field in beautiful Hudson, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining us on the River Channel. My partner, Joel Eby, off this week, so we'll be flying solo, but we're ready to go. Hudson Raiders coming off a 29-20 victory last week at Chippewa Falls. The River Falls Wildcats coming off a 21-7 victory. It was their homecoming last week, and really their first true home game of the season. Their first game on Raymer Field as they put a new surface in there. So both teams coming off a victory heading into tonight's competition. Christian Bell set to kick, junior kicker, and it's a deep kick fielded around the 7-yard line by River Falls. They'll bring it up, and the Hudson coverage team does a nice job. It's going to bring them down around the 19 or 20-yard line. That's where River Falls will start this possession. River Falls is a team that's kind of coming off a couple of tough seasons, but this year things starting to look a little brighter. They've got a couple of victories in the conference. They come in tonight 2-5 overall, 2-3 in the Big Rivers Conference. The Hudson Raiders, with that win last week, moved them into a tie for second place in the conference at 3-2 in the Big Rivers Conference, 5-2 overall. Raider defense on the field first tonight, and the Wildcats will spread the field here. Start from shotgun. They'll send a man in motion, and they'll run it around the left side and get a pretty good gain there. It's going to be a gain of around 5 or 6 yards for the Wildcats on first down. River Falls mixes it up pretty good. They're going to throw the ball typically about a third of their plays, and they will run it about 65% of their offensive plays. They'll operate from the shotgun once again. And they'll run it up the middle there. It's going to be enough for a first down, and that will move the chains for the Wildcats. Emholtz with the carry. Wildcats quarterback's a senior, John Kruger. He'll operate with a fresh set of downs from the 34-yard line. Kruger surveys the defense. 1st and 10. They'll send a man in motion, and they'll hand it off along the left side. This time they're met with a host of blue jerseys. Emholtz goes nowhere, and that will bring up, there's actually a quarterback keeper, Kruger, on the carry, and it's going to bring up a second down and long after a gain of about 2 yards. Miles Jensen and Ryan Ryder in there on the tackle for the Raiders. Kruger's going to send it around the right side. Nice defensive play over there. Xander Motu, and I believe there was Wes Corum over there as well. Actually, Reed Junko, and Junko's going to come off the field limping, and he's going to hit the turf. We'll have a stoppage in play here. Junko tried to hop off the field but went down about 5 yards short of the sideline. Looked to be in the area of a knee or ankle injury. Junko made the tackle over there with Motu. This Raider defense has had some games where they've looked like world beaters and had a couple other games where they've really struggled, and some of it's been some injuries. Lucas Trainer, starting safety, is not playing tonight, not in uniform. And now another edge player for this Raider defense coming off the field in Junco. Lucas Trainer, probably the Raiders' fastest defensive player, maybe the fastest player on the team. Not in uniform tonight. And now on about the fourth play on defense, lose another player. 3rd down and 7 for the Wildcats, and they've shown no fear of throwing the football this season. I'm guessing you're going to see a pass here. 3rd and 7. Kruger back to throw, under pressure, and gets out of it, but he finally is going to go down. Motu and company will bring him down, and he's going to be short of the first down, about 3 or 4 yards. Let's see where they mark it. Looks like they're going to mark it around the 41, which will leave him about 3 yards short. Ryan Ryder also in there on the tackle for the Raiders, and the Wildcat punter will come onto the field to kick this one away. Henrik Wiesmeyer is deep to receive this, and that's another spot that Trainer has done so well this season, is fielding punts. Just saw the official throw a flag, but they didn't call the play dead. Kick is away, and it's going to take a hop. Wiesemeyer is going to field it, and going to be pulled down at around the 25-yard line. Cut it back, and probably lost about 3 yards after the cutback. So they're going to mark it at the 25, and the Raiders will start this offensive possession with 75 yards in front of them. Raiders opened the game last week against Chippewa Falls with a quick touchdown, and then kind of struggled for a while to find their footing on offense. Looks like they're going to pick the flag up. Maybe he just sneezed and the hanky fell out of his pocket. Either way, 1st and 10 for the Raiders at their own 25. First offensive possession of the night comes with 8:37 left in the first quarter. And we are scoreless at this point. Senior quarterback John Ucatil to lead the way. It's senior night tonight here at Newton Field. You got a program with as many players as Hudson has. Well, already a lot of seniors on the field. Ucatil hands it off to Diemel, and Diemel, big hole, still on his feet. He's got, looks like he's going to be maybe just a, I think they're going to give him the first down. First down yardage there. Let's see where they mark it, but it looks like he's got enough, and they will be moving the chains. 10-yard gain for Dayton Diemel on first down. Nice little hole right up the middle, and Diemel squeezed right through it. 1st and 10 now for Hudson as they operate. Once again, Ucatil will go under center, and they'll give it to Diemel once again, and Diemel's going to get about 2, maybe 3 there on first down. Raiders did have some seniors in there. Now they bring the usual offensive line onto the field. Those guys a chance to start here on senior night. And they're going to give it to Diemel once again, and Diemel probably has about 4. It's going to set up a 3rd down and short situation for the Raiders. Give him about 5 yards, sets up 3rd down and a long 2 for Hudson. Third and 2, Ucatil from the pistol. Looking to pass, now he pulls it down, throws it back out there again, and they're going to call it completed. It'll be a first down for the Raiders. Henrik Wiesemeyer makes the catch at the 49-yard line, and that will move the chains for the Raiders once again. Second first down of the drive for the Raiders, and they're at midfield. Wiesemeyer, the lone receiver. They're going to give it to, I believe, that was Bronson. Yuri Bronson picks up about 2 yards there on first down. Looks like they're going to give him 3, setting up 2nd down and 7. Raiders right back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 7. And Yucatil looking to throw. And looking for Bronson, and just a little bit too far ahead of him. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 now for Hudson. Bronson was open. John led him just a little bit too much there. 3rd and long, and Yucatil will go back into the pistol here. 2 receivers. We'll send Marvin in motion. And Yucatil is picked off, bounced off the first River Falls Wildcat and right into the hands of a second one. Looked like he was going for Wiesemeyer, but a crowd of white jerseys there, and I think John Yucatil would like to have that one back, forced it in there. Wildcats will start this drive at the 39-yard line. 7 minutes left in the first quarter. And River Falls will start their second possession of the evening. Kruger is going to operate from the pistol now. And they're going to hand it off up the middle. I believe that was Ryder there on the tackle. Yeah, pick up around 3 for the Wildcats. Brings up 2nd and 7. Raiders won their first home game or first road game of the season last week at Chippewa Falls. Been dominant at home, but until last week, played some tight games on the road. Wildcats surge forward, and should be a 1st down. Logan Emheltz takes it up to midfield. And now the Wildcats are just about into Raider territory. Kruger surveys the defense, hands it off to Emheltz again, and he's got about 4 or 5 there. Holden Tim makes the tackle for Hudson, but not until Emheltz picks up a nice gain. Second down and 5. Send a man in motion, and Kruger is going to keep it. Now he kicks it out on the option. It'll be a pickup of 3 or 4 before Motu is able to make the tackle. It's going to set up a 3rd down and long here for River Falls. This Wildcat team, again, they've thrown the football quite a bit this season, and that's one of those spots that the Raider defense has been susceptible to this year. But looks like this game plan for the Wildcats is pretty run heavy, and they've been successful doing it. Four receivers set. The lone setback is Emheltz. We'll send a man in motion, and they're going to give it to Emheltz into the line, and it's going to be close, and I think he's got it, and he does based upon where the line judge is standing. Should be a 1st down for River Falls. Deepest drive for either team now. River Falls down to the Raider 39-yard line. Kruger lines up to throw. He's got his man down to around the 33-yard line. Pass is complete. It's going to be a gain of around, I think they're going to mark it at the 34, so a gain of around 5 there Christian Bell makes the tackle. With 2nd and 5 coming up. Mentioned earlier, this is one of the oldest high school rivalries in the state of Wisconsin. Only 9 other rivalry games have been played more than this one. The Hudson Raiders have won the last 5. Back in 2008, it was River Falls ruining homecoming for this Raider team. But it's been 6 years since River Falls has won the Little Brown Jug. The all-time series is led by River Falls. They've won 54. The Raiders have won 42 of the 96 previous meetings. Third down and 1. Kruger to Emholtz, and Emholtz has got the first down. Logan Emholtz has been the workhorse of this drive. And the Raider defense continues their march backwards here. Be a 1st and 10 now for River Falls at the 24-yard line. Mark it around the 23. Either way, they're just a few yards from the red zone. Kruger to Emholtz, and Emholtz swallowed up by a host of Raiders. The ball comes loose, but the play was blown dead. It's going to be a short loss. Wes Corum and Holden Tim in there. Going to mark it off as a 1-yard loss. Ran that little option run down there. And the Raider defensive line had a nice push there. We'll set up a 2nd and long for River Falls. Kruger set to throw. And it's going to be incomplete through the hands of his receiver, Nate Grobitz. So 3rd down and 12 now coming up for Hudson. Got to figure this is 4-down territory for River Falls. They're certainly not going to punt it away, but at this point you're looking at about a 42-yard field goal from here. Haven't seen their kicker, but I'm reasonably sure he can't make it from 42. Kruger sends a man in motion. Looking to pass, rolls to his left, gets it out of there, looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. Complete down there in the end zone to Brian Grove. And the Wildcats have struck first blood tonight with a 6-0 lead. But there is a flag on the play, and it's kind of in the neighborhood of holding. See what the officials come up with here. But where that flag is lying on the field, I believe this is going to come back. And it is holding on River Falls. So the touchdown pass is going to come back, and that's going to back up River Falls a long way. Touchdown pass is going to morph into a very long 3rd down. Going to mark it around the 41, so it's going to be about a 3rd down and 28 here coming up for River Falls. 3rd and very long. They spread it out. And looks like River Falls has called timeout. So timeout on the field. River Falls is going to talk this over. 3rd down and 22. And I think this is a spot where if you're River Falls, you think to yourself, hey, this is a big spot for us. We'd like to get some points out of this. You don't have to get all of the yards here. If you can make a completion, get back down to around the 30 or the 25. Give yourself another spot there to maybe pick up some yards and throw it into the end zone again. The Raiders secondary has been susceptible all year long, and River Falls has won on some big plays tonight, or this season. They did win the conference opener on the road at Rice Lake. Rice Lake's only loss this year have been to Superior, who was undefeated in the conference, and to River Falls. River Falls trailed in that game 14-10 late in the action, about 10 seconds left. They had a fourth down on their own 6-yard line, threw it over the top for a 94-yard touchdown to stun Rice Lake at Puglund Field in Rice Lake. Huge win for them. So they are certainly well aware that they can hit the big play. Kruger sends a man in motion. Going to roll to his left under a lot of pressure. Gets it out of there, incomplete. Motu came flying up there from the second level, and Kruger had to get it out of there. Did a nice job of just getting rid of that football, but fourth down coming up, and now the punt team will come onto the field. The distance of the first down kind of makes it difficult to run a fake, but it's a good spot on the field that if you got a fake punt in your playbook, wouldn't be the end of the world if you didn't convert it, as long as you could get 10, 15 yards out of it. And that's what they're going to do. No, they're going to punt it. And it's fielded by Wiesemeyer, and he's going to be pulled down around the 16-yard line, but did a nice job of getting up there and scooping that football up, because I think if he lets that bounce, the Raiders are probably going to start this drive at around the 2-yard line. Very nice punt there by River Falls, and Wiesemeyer did a nice job of coming up there and scooping that football up and giving the Raiders some room to start this drive at their 16-yard line. Carranza will play the wing on the far side. Looks like it's going to be Braden Marvin on the near side. Diemel straight behind Ucatil. And they will give it to Diemel, and a nice run by Dayton Diemel. Maybe a pickup around 3 or 4 on first down. And now the Raiders will bring Nick Holm into the football game. Play the tight end spot on the near side. They'll send Braden Marvin in motion, try to draw River Falls off sides. Now they'll reset. And they'll give it to Diemel once again, and Diemel will have the first down out to around the 28-yard line. Nice run for Dayton Diemel. 1 minute left in the first quarter. A scoreless game. River Falls visiting Newton Field tonight here. Run Marvin in motion and give it to Diemel once again. And Diemel's got about 4, maybe 5. They give him 4. Move Marvin around again. And they kick it out to Braden Marvin, and Marvin, first down yardage, gain of around 7 or 8 there on second down. And that will move the chains once again for the Raiders. 22 seconds left in the first quarter. The clock stops momentarily as they move the chains. It looks like the Raiders are set to run one more play here. And they're going to give it to Diemel once again. Diemel rolls to his left to probably pick up around. Looks going to give him a long 3 there. Going to give him 4, and they'll call it second down and 6 coming up. But that is going to end the first quarter. So at the end of 1, it's Hudson 0, River Falls 0. Both teams have been able to generate yards on their offensive possession, but both teams just haven't been able to get anything big into the end zone yet. Raiders with a couple of methodical drives. Scores last week in the Big Rivers Conference was Hudson 29, Chippewa Falls 20 over at Doré Field in Chippewa Falls. This River Falls team with a 21-7 win. It was their first game on the new artificial surface at Raymer Field down in River Falls, and they won it at homecoming 21-7. Menominee, fighting for their playoff lives, came back and defeated Eau Claire Memorial at Carson Park in Eau Claire 28-27. Menominee's got to win out to get themselves into the playoffs. The game of the week really in the conference standings, though, was Rice Lake heading up to Superior. Rice Lake had one loss. Superior was undefeated. Superior with a 30-24 victory to remain undefeated. And if they win tonight, they will clinch the Big Rivers Conference. I'm not a Big Rivers Conference historian, but I've been around the conference for about 15 years, and I don't think Superior's ever won the conference. They look poised to do it this week. They're on the road at last place Eau Claire North. And they're going to give it to Marvin around the near side. Marvin picks up a nice block and gets into River Falls territory. Gain of around 7 yards. It's going to be close to a first down. Going to bring up third down and about a foot. 3rd and inches for the Raiders. John Ucatil will go back under center. Dayton Diemel behind him, and they'll give it to Diemel. Diemel plows ahead for 2 or 3, and that will move the chains for Hudson. Fresh set of downs down to around the 43-yard line for the Raiders. Just underway here in the second quarter. And they'll give it to Marvin again. Marvin up the middle, going to pick up around 3. Braden Marvin was kind of the Raiders' big play specialist last year and has broken off a couple nice ones this season as well, and a little more action this year. They'll give it to Diemel around the left side, and Diemel squirts through for a pickup of around 5 or 6 yards. Slowiak on the tackle there for River Falls. 3rd and 2 now coming up for Hudson. And Ucatil will throw it, and he's going to complete that to Nick Holm. No, it's Dayton Diemel, actually. It's going to be close. They're going to measure it. It looks like where they have it marked, the Raiders have it. I'm going to say they've got it by about a half of a football. It's based upon where I see the marker on the far side and where I see the football here on the near side, but they'll bring the chains all the way across. Where the football sits, I'm not sure if we're going to get a look at it. Lots of blue jerseys are going to be inspecting this as they stretch the chains out. But I think the Raiders have it. The official made it a little dramatic, but he does signal first down, so the Raiders will have a fresh set of downs at around the 34-yard line of River Falls. All right, 1st and 10 from the 34. Ucatil will go under center. Dayton Diemel behind him. And they will give it to Diemel. And Diemel, actually that's Nick Holm. Nick Holm with a nice run, going to pick up around 7 or 8. Nick Holm has done a nice job in relief of Dayton Diemel this season. Very effective running the football in the backup fullback spot. And they'll give it to Holm once again. This time not much, though. River Falls with a nice push. Going to give Holm about a yard. It's going to set up 3rd down and 2 for the Raiders. Raiders have brought Trapicio in to play the wing on the near side of the field. Try to get the Wildcats to jump off sides. Johnny Ucatil did a masterful job of that a few weeks ago against Eau Claire Memorial. Ucatil will keep it himself, and he's got the 1st down. Pickup of around 5 on 3rd down and 2, and that will move the chains for the Raiders. Going to mark it around the 21-yard line. Ucatil probably drew Eau Claire Memorial off about 5 times a few weeks ago here at Newton Field. A couple of those times in really big spots as well. 1st and 10 for Hudson. And they're going to go up the middle with Nick Holm, and Holm's going to be inside the 15-yard line down to, they'll just mark it just on the other side of the 15. 2nd down and about 4 now for Hudson. And they'll give it to Marvin up the middle. Marvin finds some space down to around the 5-yard line. Going to be 1st and goal for Hudson. The Raiders knocking on the door here with 8:35 left in the 1st quarter. It's a scoreless game. The Raiders with a chance here. Wiesemeyer, the receiver on the far side. They're going to give it to Diemel. Diemel into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. Dayton Diemel was across the goal line before River Falls laid a hand on him. And the Hudson Raiders lead it 6-0. Christian Bell will come onto the field to make it 7-0. New holder in there tonight for Hudson, Charlie Richards. Richards, a junior quarterback. Ucatil has held all season long, but Coach Cowles would like to get his junior quarterback some work this year. Get him onto the field, and Richards played a little bit last season in a limited role, come out there to basically knee on the football, but he, unless something happens, he may be the starter next season for this Hudson Raider football team. 8:24 left in the 1st half. Hudson leads it 7-0 over River Falls in the battle for the Little Brown Jug. Both teams wearing the pink socks tonight for breast cancer awareness. Cheerleaders doing a fundraiser to send some money to the American Cancer Society. Got to give it up to the Hudson Benchwarmers Parents Group for doing an amazing job painting this field. Christian Bell set to kick off for Hudson. Nice crowd here tonight from River Falls as well. They're only about 10 miles down the road. Ball scooped up at around the 12-yard line. Break it around the edge, and the Raiders are going to bring them down around the 42-yard line. Adrian Porras, but there is a hanky right around the 25-yard line, and it's going to come back. So River Falls has had 2 big plays this evening, and both of them have been called back due to flags. touchdown about midway through that first quarter, and now a nice return is going to be negated, and that's going to start River Falls in a hole down to around the 15-yard line. 8:16 left in the second quarter, and the Wildcats will start this drive with 85 yards in front of them. River Falls will send a man in motion, and they're going to pitch it to that man. That's Porras, and Porras is going to gain about 5 yards and fighting for more. Group tackling effort over there by the Hudson Raiders. Gain of around 5 or 6 yards. Looks like there's a player down the field, and there is. It's our River Falls player. It's Porras, the ball carrier on that play, and he's up on his knees, and now he's up on his feet, but very gingerly walking off the field. So they've taken Porras off the field, and we're ready to go here. 2nd down and 5. Kruger sets up from the pistol. Send a man in motion, and they're going to hand it off to the far side of the field. Nice run over there by Emholtz. Going to be for 1st down yardage, and that will move the chains for River Falls. So the Wildcats will have a 1st and 10 from their own 29 coming up here. A 1st and 10. Kruger surveys the defense, and they'll hand it off to Emholtz, and Emholtz another nice run. It'll be a gain of around 6. We'll set up a 2nd down and 4. River Falls hasn't put any points on the board tonight, but they've certainly moved the ball pretty effectively. And they'll give it to Emholtz again, and Emholtz out to around the 45-yard line, and that will move the chains once again for River Falls. Mark it at the 46. Jack Koski will come off the field. Motu comes back on. First and 10. And Emholtz once again will carry it. This time the Raiders able to limit to about 2 or 3 yards. I'll mark it as, wow, a nice gain of around 3 or 4 there. And they'll give it to Emholtz around the far side. Emholtz sliding through Raider tackles, and he's going to be very close to a 1st down, probably a yard or 2 short, but it's going to set up a 3rd down and convertible around a yard or 2. So Emholtz, with a couple of nice runs, has this River Falls offense in business down to the 46-yard line of Hudson. 5 minutes left in the first half. Raiders lead it 7-0. But River Falls moving the ball. And they'll give it to Emholtz again, and I think he's got it. Let's see where they mark it. Ryan Ryder made the tackle, and I believe he's got the first down. They may come out and measure it. No, they won't. 1st and 10. 1st and 10 for River Falls. Clock starts rolling, 4:45 left in the half. River Falls has 2 timeouts remaining. Hudson Raiders have all 3. Kruger from the pistol sends a man in motion, and they'll give it to Emholtz again. Nice burst for Emholtz, and he's got a gain of around maybe 6-7 yards there in first down. They're going to give him 6. Jack Koski makes the tackle, but 2nd and 4 now coming up. 4:05 left in the half. River Falls inside the 40-yard line now. And this time, Emholtz swallowed up over there by Wes Corum. Wes Corum slipped through the line, and Emholtz basically right into his arms. He wrapped him up and pulled him down. Loss of a yard. 3rd down and a long 6 now from the 40-yard line for River Falls. Third and 6. And they'll spread out the field once again. Kruger looking to throw. Going to throw it to the far sideline, in the hands and then out. Threw it right on where the 1 and the 1 meet, and basically went right through the hands of the receiver. So that'll bring up 4th down, and River Falls will send the punt team onto the field. This is a promising looking drive, and really they would have been very close to a first down there, but the receiver just couldn't haul it in. So 3:09 left in the second quarter, and River Falls is set to punt. Raiders have all 11 men within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, nobody back, and this is a very opportune place to run a fake punt. And they're going to kick it away. Looks like it's going to bounce it around the 18-yard line. So that's where the Hudson Raiders will bring the offense out with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Raiders lead it 7-0. Come onto the field here. I believe this will be their 3rd possession of the night. Both teams have moved the ball effectively with their offense. Raiders so far the only team to put it in the end zone. But not a lot of possessions in this game because both teams have held on to the ball. Ukitil will go under center. Running the option, kicks it out to Braden Marvin. Marvin slips a tackle, goes by another guy, and he's going to take it out to around the 32-yard line. Be first down for the Raiders. Gain of around 15 for Braden Marvin. Clock stops momentarily as they move the chains. Sitting at 2:53, and again, the Hudson Raiders have all 3 timeouts. Kraus, the receiver on the near side, Wiesemeyer on the far side. They'll give it to Diemel up the middle, and Diemel will pick up around, looks like around 6 yards there on first down. Hakes with the tackle for the Wildcats. Ukitil back under center. Going to run the option, kicks it out to Marvin on the near side of the field. Marvin slammed to the turf. Would have been a spot that would have been a good decision to get out of bounds. 3rd down and 1 coming up now. Clock ticking, 2:10 left. 3rd and 1 for Hudson. Raiders lead it 7-0, trying to add to the lead. Ukitil again tries to draw River Falls offsides. They're not doing it. They'll give it to Diemel, and Diemel out to midfield First down for Hudson. Clock stops at 1:51, and Ukitil will get the offense ready to go here. As soon as they place those chains, the clock will stop or start. 1:49. Ukitil barking out the play. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at midfield. They'll give it to, actually going to run the option around the left side, and Ukitil is going to keep it and get out of bounds. First down yardage, gain of around 12. That will move the chains and stop the clock at 1:34. 1st and 10 coming up for Hudson. Going to mark it right at the 40. 1:34 left. Raiders trying to add to a 7-0 lead. And they'll give it to Diemel. The left side, Diemel's got about 3. And the Raiders not ready to call timeouts yet. Coach Kyle's just sent in the play. 2nd down and around 6 now from the 36-yard line. Ukitil, option to the near side, is going to keep it himself, take it up the middle. Going to be short of the 1st down. And let's see if they call a timeout here. Nope, they're going to send Nick Holm in with the play. 1:02 left to play, clock rolling. 3rd down and inches. Raiders bringing a tight end here for this play. And they're going to give it to Diemel. Diemel powering through down to around the 20-yard line. That will stop the clock as they move the chains. 42 seconds left. Raiders have their full complement of timeouts, so they can run pretty much whatever they want at the 20-yard line. Clock rolling now, 38 to play. Ukitil gives it to Marvin. Marvin is absorbed, and now the Raiders will use a timeout. Stop the clock, 31.6 seconds left here in the half. The Raiders lead at 7-0, and they're trying to put some more points on the board. Hudson does have Christian Bell in their back pocket, and they're in Christian Bell territory. They got to send them out to kick right now. It's about a 35-yarder. Bell's hit from 42 already this season. Raiders have 2 more timeouts left. River Falls has 2 as well, but probably won't be using them here. Trapiccio has played much of the game as the wing on the opposite side of Braden Marvin. Must have some sort of injury. Bronson has really played in that role, as well as Carranza for most of the season, but Trapiccio's been in there for the bulk of this game. And he's a junior, so he's not getting senior privilege tonight. Second down and 8. 31 seconds left. Raiders with 2 timeouts. And Ukitil set to throw. Now he's going to pull it down. And Ukitil's going to slip over to the sideline. Let's see if they give it to him, and they do. See where they mark it. I think he's got the first down to around the 9-yard line. Should be a first down and goal from the 9. And they will give the Raiders the first down. So a fresh set of downs. 24.6 seconds left on the clock. It is stopped after Ukitil got out of bounds on that run. First and goal. Raiders spread it out. Ukitil will go from the pistol. Weisselmeyer, the receiver on the far side, they're going to run it. And I believe that is Nick Holm. And Holm lost about a yard, and the Raiders will call their second timeout. So Holm loses a yard. 20.3 seconds remaining. Raiders have 1 timeout left. And this may be a spot where you maybe throw it in the end zone a few times here. You don't want to keep one of those timeouts in your pocket if you got to send Christian Bell onto the field. Raiders now down to the 10. If they had to kick it from here, you'd be looking at a 27-yard field goal to add to a 7-0 lead. Raiders will wrap up the regular season schedule next week on the road in Eau Claire against Eau Claire North. The Huskies, a tough season this year at the bottom of the Big Rivers Conference standings. But the Huskies do throw the ball around, so going to be one of those games that maybe you look at the records, it looks like a landslide, but Eau Claire North has put up some tough games against this Raider team over the past few years. Second and goal from the 10-yard line for Hudson. Ucatil will go under center. Diemel behind him. Braden Marvin offset. Ucatil looking to throw. Got plenty of time. He gets Weismeyer, and he's in there. Touchdown, Raiders. Weismeyer just kind of hung around the goal line, and Ucatil had plenty of time to throw it in there. Delivered a beautiful throw, and Weismeyer beat his man into the end zone. Raiders extend the lead to 13-0 with 13.6 seconds to play in the half. So Richards will come back in to hold this, and Christian Bell set to kick. Richards gets the snap down, kick is up, and it is good. The Hudson Raiders take a 14-0 lead right at the end here of the second quarter. Christian Bell will have to kick this away. He is one of the best kickers in the conference as far as kicking it deep on these kickoffs, and has put many a football in the end zone, but this might be a spot where Coach Cowles decides to squib it and not give River Falls an opportunity to possibly run it back. River Falls had a nice return going on their last kickoff return. It was called back after a penalty, but you don't want to allow River Falls an opportunity to get back into this game on a kickoff return. Raiders will receive the kickoff to start the second half. Started the night with a drive that went about 25, 30 yards before there was an interception. The last two drives for the Hudson Raiders have resulted in touchdowns. Ball sitting at the 40-yard line, and Christian Bell has the coverage team ready. Line drive kick is going to be fielded by one of the up men at around the 25-yard line. He takes it to the far side of the field, wrapped up over there, and they will blow it dead as the receiver takes it out of bounds. Nick Holm over there on the tackle for the Hudson Raiders. So the Wildcats, with 5 seconds left, will start this drive at around the 28-yard line. Let's see if they decide to take a shot here, if they're going to go to the locker room down 14. Looks to be a white flag waving as they bring out the kneel formation. And they will kneel it and head to the locker room. So a pretty good first half for the Hudson Raiders. They put 14 up on offense, and they keep the opponent out of the end zone. We go to halftime with the Hudson Raiders leading at 14-0 over River Falls. We'll be right back with second half action. Second half about to get underway here at Newton Field. Hudson Raiders leading at 14-0 over their rival to the south, the River Falls Wildcats, and the Raiders will return the kick here in the second half, and hopefully they'll come up with the ball in a good spot and take it down the field for another touchdown to add to this 14-0 lead. The game for the Little Brown Jug, it's the 10th oldest high school football rivalry in the state of Wisconsin. This is the 97th meeting, the first one back in 1910. All-time series led by River Falls, 54-42, but the Raiders have won the last 5. looking to make it 6 straight. Raiders also looking for their 19th straight home victory. 19 straight victories tonight on Newton Field. They go home with the win. Haven't lost since the final home game of 2000, I believe it's 2010. Was the last time they've lost on this field. Sam Schaefer to kick off. Braden Marvin and Nick Holm deep for the Raiders. Schaefer line drive kick, and Raiders cover it up. That's Tom Geisler. Geisler knocked it down and jumped on it at the 35-yard line. So pretty good starting field position for Hudson. John Ucatil and company about to take the field. Coach Adam Cowles having some final words with the offense. Elsewhere in the Big Rivers Conference tonight, Chippewa Falls at Menominee, Eau Claire Memorial at Rice Lake, and Superior at Eau Claire North. Memorial in a really interesting position. They started off the year 3-0 in conference, lost to Hudson 2 weeks ago, lost to Menominee last week, taking on Rice Lake this week, and then next week they will take on Superior. So they started 3-0, and then 4 straight games against the best in the conference, and they could go from a 3-0 first place in conference. If they lose out, they may not make the playoffs. So they're one of those teams that needs to pick up one more win to punch their ticket into the postseason. And the Raiders will give it to Dayton Diemel on 2nd and 5. Diemel picks up about 2 or 3. 3rd down and a long 2, short 3, call it what you want. Coming up for Hudson. Nick Holm comes into the game. Played tight end on the far side of the field. And Ucatil going to throw it, and through the hands of Dayton Diemel. Going to be 4th down coming up, but John Ucatil right over to Coach Adam Cowles, and they're going to keep the offense on the field. Ball went through the hands of Dayton Diemel, and John Ucatil just looked at Coach Cowles. What's the next play, Coach? No hesitation. 4th down and 2 coming up for Hudson. They're definitely going to try to draw him. I can assure you of that. Ucatil was able to draw Eau Claire Memorial offsides 5 times 2 weeks ago on this field. But Chippewa Falls looked like they were ready for it, and River Falls looks like they're ready for it. And I think Dayton Diemel's short. Needed 2, and I don't think he got it. A lot of it's going to depend on the spot and really where they're putting the football down. I think they're short, and they are. So River Falls will come onto the field with excellent starting field position inside the 45-yard line of Hudson. 10:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. River Falls in a good spot here to try to cut this 14-0 lead in half. Kruger from the pistol. They give it to Emholtz to the right side. Emholtz, short gain of about a yard. It's a one-man broadcast. I don't take stats, but Emholtz had a bunch of yards in that first half and was a real workhorse for the Wildcats. Tried to get him going here in the second half, but Raider defense collapses on him on the first play of this drive. Four wides for River Falls. Emholtz the lone setback. They'll send a man in motion. And Kruger looked like he was going to do a quarterback keeper, but Holden Tim came around the far side edge and pulled Kruger down for about a 2-yard loss. Ryan Ryder also in there on the play. 3rd and 12 coming up for River Falls. Coach Adam Cowell's shown a lot of confidence in his defense to go for that 4th down. Let's see if they can stand up to the test here. 3rd and 12. Kruger set to throw. Kruger tries to step into it. Ball on the field. Raiders may have it. They say they do. Let's see what the boys in stripes say. Holden Tim says the Raiders have it. They're peeling the pile away. There was one white jersey, several blue jerseys. Looks like River Falls has it, but it's going to be 4th down and long, and River Falls will bring the punt team onto the field. Kruger tried to pull that down. Ball swatted away, hit the turf. River Falls able to fall on it, but it was a loss of around 3, and it brings up 4th and 15. Wildcats started that drive on the 45-yard line of Hudson, but lost 5 yards in the drive. Wiesmeyer set to receive the punt. Been talking about a fake punt all night, but yet to see it. And kick that away. Wiesmeyer calls for a fair catch and makes it at around the 15 or 16-yard line. So the Raiders will start this drive with about 85 yards in front of them. 8:54 left in the 3rd quarter. Raider defense has been maligned at points throughout the season, but pitching a shutout tonight, and that was a big spot there. Again, River Falls started that drive with a short field and just got nothing. Ucatil from under center to send Marvin in motion. Kick it out to Marvin. Around the near side, he makes the edge, gets across the 20 and dragged down at around the 23-yard line. Pulled down from behind, a little bit slow to get up, and yeah, he's going to come off the field. That was a dangerous way to come down. He kind of came down a little bit weird on his knee and may have twisted it. Still under his own power, but now he's going to sit down. Made it off the field on his own, but tough way for Braden Marvin to hit the turf, and he's on the sideline right now. Raiders will give it to Diemel, and Diemel didn't get much. He's going to be short of the 1st down. It was a pickup of around 7 or 8 for Marvin. Marvin's back up on his feet now. Looks to be recovered from it. Moving the leg around, but he looks pretty good. Like Trapicio and Carranza, the wingbacks right now. Nick Holm in there in the fullback spot. 3rd down and short. And they're going to give it to Trapicio. Trapicio 1st down and more out to the 38-yard line. Trapicio gain of around 13 yards on 3rd down and 2, and that will move the chains for the Hudson Raiders. Little misdirection there by the Raider offense, and fresh set of downs out to around the 37. 7.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Raiders trying to get something going here and add to a 14-0 lead. They'll give it to Nick Holm up the middle. Nick Holm, a lot of space. Nick Holm down the sideline, finally dragged out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Big gain of around 30 yards for Nick Holm, and the Raiders in business in River Falls territory. Ucatil will bring the offense right up to the line of scrimmage. Clock stops, 7:16 to play, but the Raiders with that no-huddle offense, keeping the defense on their toes. 1st and 10 at the 35 after the Nick Holm run. They'll give it to Holm again, and Holm pushes the pile forward. Actually, that's Dayton Diemel in there. They give Diemel about 3 on 1st down. We'll set up 2nd down and 7. Raiders with a nice 1-2 punch in Dayton Diemel and Nick Holm. Pitch it out to Braden Marvin. Marvin turns on the afterburners across the 30 down to the 20-yard line. That'll be another 1st down for the Hudson Raiders. Knee looked fine for Braden Marvin there. Moving the chains down to the 21-yard line. 1st and 10 for Hudson. Looks like they'll mark it, right at the 21. Ucatil under center. Trapiccio in motion. They'll give it to Marvin once again. Marvin falls forward down to around the 16-yard line. Going to be a gain of around 4 or 5. They'll give him 4, make it a 2nd down and 6 coming up for Hudson. Ucatil right to the line. And they will give it to Diemel. And Diemel across the 10 will be 1st and goal coming up for Hudson. Raiders have been working that right side of the line. Madison Davis and James Broughton over there pushing the white shirts backwards tonight. Give it to Diemel again. They work to that right side once again, and Diemel inside the 5 down to around the 3-yard line. 2nd goal from the 3 coming up for Hudson. Raider offensive line's had a really nice night tonight. Grant Mara back in there at center tonight. Believe he missed a game or two ago. They'll give it to Diemel once again. Diemel fighting for the end zone. He's going to be short. Senior Andy Johnson, the left guard, and Josh Nelson in there at tackle. Got the jumbo package in there right now. Ucatil tries to draw him off sides with Braden Marvin motion. Now they'll reset the offense. 3rd down and goal. And they're going to give it to Diemel into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. Dayton Diemel from 2 yards out, and the Hudson Raiders have blown it open now 20-0, pending an extra point here by Christian Bell. 4:59 left in the 3rd quarter. Raiders have opened up a 3-possession lead. Junior quarterback Charlie Richards in there to hold. Snap is good, kick is up, and it is good. So the Raiders lead it 21-0 in the 3rd quarter. River Falls has threatened a few times to score tonight, but the Raider defense has been tough. We look at the Hudson Raiders this season, kind of a couple weird games. They actually did have a shutout the 2nd game of the season against Chanhassen. They won that game 36-0. They gave up 21 to Menominee a few weeks later at home. Eau Claire Memorial at home a couple weeks ago, just 9. And tonight at home so far pitching a shutout. Did give up a bunch of points on the road at Rice Lake early in the season. Kind of just been a weird season for the defense. On the road this year, they've just had a little harder time keeping people off the scoreboard. But either way, we talked with Joel last week, and this team, 5-2 coming into this game, really just a couple plays away from being undefeated and sitting here thinking we're 7-0. But Coach Cowles has got this team playing well when it matters the most. We round out the conference schedule. Christian Bell set to kick. Raiders clinched a playoff spot last week in Chippewa Falls, and now they're just playing for a seeding. Deep kick by Bell is going to be fielded around the 14-yard line by Porras, and Porras is going to be pulled down at around the 30-yard line. Dayton Diemel making the tackle out there in special teams. Hey, those two fullbacks for the Raiders, Holm and Diemel, made some tackles tonight on special teams. Those guys do it all. River Falls looking for their first points of the night on this drive. Second drive of the second half for them. A net -5 in their first drive. Kruger kicks it out for Amholtz. Amholtz taken down by Niederhauser, but not until Amholtz picks up around 14. Niederhauser was trying to knock that football out of there from behind and finally just said, I got to pull this guy down. But Amholtz takes it out to the 44-yard line. Fresh set of downs for River Falls. River Falls hasn't held the Little Brown Jug since 2008, and they need to get something going here. It's going to be another year. Give it to Amholtz up the middle. Nice run by Amholtz. Raiders had him by the jersey, but he pulled himself forward another 5 yards after that, and that's going to be another first down. He gets it out over the 45-yard line down to the 44. I'll mark it at the 45. Restart the clock, 4:21 remaining. Now they'll start the clock. 4:21 remaining in the third quarter. Hudson Raiders lead at 21-0 over River Falls. Kruger out to the right side. And that's going to be a pickup around 5 or 6. Hit Kenny Oberlin. 2nd and 4 coming up for River Falls. Next week in the Big Rivers, it'll be Hudson on the road at Carson Park, taking on Eau Claire North. Menominee, still trying to get themselves into the playoffs, will be taking on this River Falls squad. Get to the rest of the schedule here in a moment. 2nd and 4 for Kruger. Send a man in motion, and they're going to give it to Amholtz up the middle. Amholtz, first down and more. Amholtz making the turn, trying to get to the end zone. Sakulu will take him down at around the 7 or 8 yard line. It'll be 1st and goal coming up for the Wildcats. So River Falls making it into the red zone and down to the 9 yard line. 1st and goal coming up for them. It's their first time tonight with a goal to go situation. Menominee will make the trip to Raymer Field next week to take on this River Falls team. Eau Claire Memorial heads up north to Superior. Again, they'll need to win that game, most likely. They need to get one more win to get into the playoffs. Kruger from the pistol. And Kruger's going to keep it, and he's going to get down inside the 5 to around the 4 yard line. 2nd and goal coming up. Christian Bell makes the tackle. The other game going on in the Big Rivers, Rice Lake looking to cap off their season with a victory down to Doray Field in Chippewa Falls. Shortest road trip of the year for the Warriors. 2nd and goal from the 4 yard line. Kruger from the pistol. They'll come around the left side. Amholtz leading the way. He's going to be just short. Tried to run it with Porras. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and goal from about the 1. John Cryer able to pull down Porras. And I believe the Raiders are going to have to stop him twice because I don't think River Falls is going to send the field goal unit onto the field here. 3rd down and about a foot to the end zone for the Wildcats. Raiders lead at 21-0, trying to keep the goose egg on the board for the Wildcats. River Falls will send one receiver wide to the far side of the field. Kruger goes from the pistol. Amholtz behind him. Kruger's going to keep it. And I think the Raiders stopped him. Kruger is short, and the crowd at Newton Field comes to their feet. 4th down and goal coming up for River Falls. Koski, Miles Jensen in there in the tackle. 4th and goal coming up for the Wildcats looking over for the play. I think River Falls, no, they're not going to call timeout. They're going to run a play. Here comes Kruger with the 4th and goal play. If it was me, I would give it to Emholtz. 46 seconds to play in the third quarter. Crowd to their feet. One receiver to the far side of the field, and now River Falls will call timeout. I think they were starting to drain down that play clock, and coaching staff over there wanted a second to talk it over. Jason Wolf, the head coach on the opponent's sideline tonight. Jason Wolf, I believe, was the head coach down at Prescott before River Falls hired him, I think, around 4 or 5 years ago. Prescott just south of River Falls, 10 miles. The Raider defense gets a chance to talk it over, catch their breath. 4th down and about a foot. And it looks like they got it marked it right at the 1 yard line. So 4th and goal from the 1 coming up for River Falls. 41 seconds left here in this third quarter. Here comes the Wildcats. 1 receiver on the far side of the field. The other 10 men in a tight formation. Kruger from the pistol. Emholtz right behind him. Porras to the right. Kruger gives it to Emholtz. Emholtz into the end zone untouched. Touchdown, River Falls. With 38 seconds left in the third quarter, River Falls gets into the end zone for the first time tonight, cuts the Raider lead to 21-6. And now Schaefer will come in to kick the extra point to make it 21-7. Kick is good, and that will make it 21-7 with 38 seconds left in the third quarter. Take a look at the Big Rivers Conference standings. Superior could clinch the conference tonight with a victory or a loss by Hudson or Rice Lake. That's not going to happen. So Superior 5-0, 6-1 overall. Rice Lake 3-2, 5-2 overall. Your Hudson Raiders 3-2 in the conference, 5-2 overall. It is Eau Claire Memorial also 3-2 in conference, 4-3 overall. Menominee 2-3 in conference, 3-4 overall. River Falls 2-3 in conference, 2-5 overall. Chippewa Falls 1-4 in the conference, 2-5 overall. And Eau Claire North 1-4 in conference, 2-5 overall. Raiders will take on the North Huskies next week. Powder blue team from the city of Eau Claire. River Falls set to kick. Braden Marvin and Nick Holm deep to receive for Hudson. And it's an onside kick, scooped up by the blue jerseys down there. Ryan Ryder picks it up, loses his headgear, but comes up with the football. Chippewa Falls did that last week to the Raiders in the opening kickoff of the game. Kicked an onside kick, didn't recover. And River Falls decided, hey, let's try to get back into this game. Let's try to come up with another possession here. But the Raiders on top of it. So now John Ucatil in the offense will come onto the field with a really nice starting field position at the 44-yard line. It's a little more than 55 yards to pay dirt for the Raiders. Kraus and Wiesemeyer, the receivers on the near side of the field, to run Braden Marvin in motion. Ucatil is going to cut it up on the quarterback option. Ucatil nearly slid out of that tackle. Going to take it upfield for around 9 yards. He's going to be just shy of the first down. Into River Falls territory, be a second down and about a half a yard here. Actually, they're going to measure it looks like. It's going to be real close to a first down. Referee eyeballs it, says it's a first down. So that will move the chains. 10-yard gain for John Ucatil on first down. Ran the option, had Braden Marvin coming around the edge. A couple white jerseys following him, so Ucatil just took it right up the middle. Gain of 10. Now they'll give it to Diemel, and Diemel powers ahead. Gain of around 14 yards. That will move the chains once again. Raiders picking it up in big chunks now. Should be a 1st and 10. Clock starts, 6 seconds to play. I don't think the Raiders are going to get another playoff here. And that will be it for the third quarter. So at the end of 3, it's the Hudson Raiders 21, River Falls 7, but the Raiders marching down the field in a hurry here and looking to stockpile a few points here and give themselves some insurance as we head into this fourth quarter. I want to thank you for watching Raider football on the River Channel. If you enjoyed this broadcast and want to see more Raider football and maybe bring the Raiders home to you, you can pick up a DVD set. You got the season set for $125 on DVD. It's also available on Blu-ray for those of you who enjoy watching it in HD. What you're watching right now is standard def, but we are recording the game in high definition, and you can get the whole season on Blu-ray. We also have that exclusive highlight tape. That's a big deal for all the parents, but looking for a Christmas gift for that Raider player in your family? Maybe send something to Grandma and Grandpa. Great way to remember the Raider season with a set of those DVDs. And give us a call, 715-386-0115, or email us. It's info@riverchannel.org. John Ucatil, 1st and 10, under center. Dayton Diemel behind him. And gave it to Trapiccio. Nearly fumbled it, but scooped the ball up, and it's a nice run down to around the 28. Had a hard time with the handoff, but able to get it under control and pick up around 8 yards. Slowiak with the tackle for River Falls, and he's had an active night tonight. Raider offense back up to the line of scrimmage. Ucatil gives it to Trapiccio again. Trapiccio battling for yardage. First down for Hudson inside the 20-yard line, down to around the 17. First and 10 for the Raiders. They'll mark it at the 17-yard line. Run Marvin in motion. They're going to give it to Diemel. Diemel's going to follow Marvin through the hole. Ball comes loose. I think River Falls has it. Diemel lost the handle. Ball was out there for the taking, and River Falls took it. So the drive comes to an end, and River Falls will have the football at around the 8-yard line. Second turnover of the evening for the Raiders. Ucatil was intercepted on the first drive of the night. River Falls hasn't turned it over tonight, but +2 in the turnover column, but find themselves down 14 as they start this drive on their own 8-yard line. Wildcats spread it out. Kruger looking to throw. It's caught at the 10-yard line, and River Falls will bring it out to around the 15-yard line. Hit Brian Grove, and Grove gets the Wildcats some nice yardage, but there is a flag sitting around the 12-yard line, and it's going to be on River Falls. So again, another big play by River Falls. That's probably their second or third biggest play of the night. And all three of River Falls' big plays tonight have been called back due to flags. Joel Evie would be proud tonight. We had a block in the back there, and it's going to push this football back to around the 6-yard line. It's be first down, first and around 13, but most importantly, that is going to erase that big play. And it looks like River Falls is going to use another timeout. It's their second timeout of the night, of the half here, and it's going to leave them with one. I think Coach Jason Wolf just probably wants to settle these guys down. I'm sure they're frustrated. Again, they've had three really big plays tonight, and all three have come back due to penalties. Been kind of a weird season for the Wildcats. They started construction on the new field at Raymer Field in River Falls. They started construction in August. So they've kind of been playing at the middle school field and just kind of a weird season. Were able to finally get onto their home field last week against Eau Claire North and had a nice win against the Huskies. And they will play just their second true home game next week against Menominee. Just their second time of the season playing on their new home field. It's a beautiful surface. Was out there on it last night for a youth scrimmage against UW River Falls, and beautiful surface. They're going to redo that entire athletic complex. It's going to be gorgeous. A couple of Hudson alumnus playing down there right now. The Malika brothers down there playing for the Falcons. Kruger standing at his own 2. He's going to hand it off to Emholtz, and Emholtz going to gain 2 or 3 and get back to the original line of scrimmage. Xander Motu and Jack Koski in there on the tackle. 11:05 left to play in the game. The Raiders can come up with a stop here, get some good field position. Got to stop in 2 more plays. Wildcats spread it out again here. Second down and 9. Kruger from the pistol. Looking to throw, gets it out. And it's going to be through the hands, but knocked away by Sekulu. Looking for Kenny Oberlin, but Oberlin never found the handle, and Sekulu was there in time to knock that ball away, and it brings up third down and about 10 from around the 9 or 10 yard line. Big spot for the Wildcats right here. They got to convert this. Down by 14, just over 10 minutes to play in the game. Deep in their own territory. They got to punt this away. The Raiders are going to get good field position. Kruger sends a man in motion. Going to roll to his left. Under pressure by Motu. Gets out of it. Throws it downfield and nearly intercepted. Will Reese kind of gambled on that one. Tried to pick it off, and it was one of those spots where it could have been a big play for River Falls had the receiver been able to get a hand on it. He did beat the coverage. Flag down. It's going to be against River Falls, but I think the Raiders are going to decline this and make it a 4th and 10. And I guess we're going to have a hold, something to that order. Well, he threw it after he was past the line of scrimmage, so illegal forward pass, but the Raiders will decline that and send the River Falls punt team onto the field. The River Falls punter has been punting from around midfield just about all night. This will be the first time he's got a punt from his own end zone. He's kind of been trying to do some directional punting all evening. On this one here, he's probably just going to want to let this one fly. But the Raiders have been very fortunate this season. They actually are going to mark that off. And it'll still be 4th down, but they'll mark 5 yards off. The Raiders have had a couple of punt snaps on opponents go over the head of punters. They put themselves in a position a couple times this season where punters have been in the end zone and been bad snaps. They're going to get this out of here. Wiesmeyer's going to pick it up at the 38, lose his footing, go down to around the 31. But Raiders with some excellent field position here coming up. John Ucatil and company can probably put the nail in the coffin with a touchdown. 32 yards away from pay dirt. 10:28 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Raiders lead at 21-7. They can put together a nice 4 or 5 minute drive that ends in 6. Can pretty much start to warm up that jug. Ucatil goes under center. Marvin in motion. They'll give it to Diemel up the middle, and Diemel wrapped up. Got about a yard. River Falls did a nice job of covering that one up. Make it 2nd and 9. I don't think the Raiders can get too fancy here on offense. Run a little bit of clock. And they're going to go to Trapecio on the left side. Trapecio cuts it back up. He's going to go out of bounds, but he's going to be close to a first down. And mark it at the 24. I think he's going to be about a yard or two short. 3rd and 2 coming up, and this is 4 down territory for the Raiders. I don't think Coach Cowles is going to send the kicker out here in this situation. Give River Falls an opportunity to come up with something big defensively. I think they're just going to run this football. 3rd and 2. And the Wildcats jump off sides. Ucatil's tried it a couple times tonight, haven't got him to fall for it, but got him there. And that will convert into a first down. Ucatil picks his spots, and I think he uses that cadence very well. Tried it a couple times tonight, and right there was a spot where he could really use it, a 3rd down and 2, and he got him to jump. So 1st and 10 for the Raiders now. Inside the 20-yard line, down to about the 18. Ucatil to Diemel. Diemel through the hole. Diemel on his feet, down inside the 5-yard line to the 4. 1st and goal coming up for Hudson. So the Raiders in business here. 1st and goal just inside the 5-yard line. Nice run there by Dayton Diemel to get the Raiders a fresh set of downs. Wiesmeyer, the receiver, on the near side of the field. Nobody on the far side. Ucatil gives it to Diemel. Diemel powers into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. 9:15 left to play in the fourth quarter. And the Raiders have blown it open now, 27-7, as Christian Bell comes onto the field to kick the extra point. Charlie Richards in to hold. Ucatil has done a fantastic job all season long. And it looks like Coach Cowles just wants to get Richards some work, get him onto the field. Richards does a nice job. Christian Bell converts it. And just over 9 minutes to play, and the Raiders back out to a 3-possession lead, 28-7. River Falls, just 1 timeout left. Raiders have the full complement. Raiders 5-2 in their 7 games this year. Their 2 losses come from a total of 9 points. They lost by 2 on the road at Rice Lake. And they lost by a touchdown on the road up in Superior. Big win over Minnetonka to open the season, 27-24 on this field. Then another win over a Minnesota school, 36-0 over Chanhassen. Lost that game to Superior, and then they came back, beat Menominee, I believe, for the 7th straight season. Went on the road to Rice Lake, lost a heartbreaker there before they peeled off 2 straight wins against Eau Claire Memorial and last week against Chippewa Falls. And another defensive stop here will pretty much wrap up a 3rd straight victory for the Raiders. Bell. They kick it down to around the 11-yard line. Porras just basically pulls it off the turf, and he's going to bring the football out to around the 31-yard line. Nice return for River Falls. River Falls has been eliminated from postseason competition with that loss a couple weeks ago. I'm sorry. Well, they will be eliminated tonight with the loss. 2-3 coming in tonight. Needed to win out. They'll be eliminated if the score holds. They'll be eliminated tonight. Kruger from the pistol. Kruger out to the flats to Emholtz. Emholtz takes it to the sideline. Going to be a gain of probably around 7-8 yards. Wes Coram pushes him out. Raiders playing for a seeding. They're 5-2. If they can finish the season 7-2, they're probably going to get a home game. 7-2, probably give them a 3 or a 4 seed in the bracket and probably open the playoff schedule with a home game if they can hold serve and win out. Got to finish business here. 9 minutes to play. Raiders lead at 28-7. River Falls with the football. Kruger rolling, and now he's going to go down. Football loose, and the Raiders say they have it. Niederhauser knocked it loose. Jack Koski down there on the ground. He may have the football. Oh, flag just flies. Battle down there for the football. And I think this might go against Hudson because Jack Koski looks upset. And it will be against the Raiders. It's going to be probably an unsportsmanlike, and it's going to give River Falls 15 yards and a first down. I'm guessing some words were said or somebody did something that maybe wasn't too gentlemanlike down there. Jack Koski knew he messed up. He came up off the pile and wrapped himself on the helmet. So 8:45 left in the game, and River Falls across the midfield stripe. Trying to get back into this football game, make it close. Kruger wings it out to the far side. And I believe that's Niederhauser in there again. Cleaned up by Holden Tim. Nick Roberts makes the catch, picks up about 2. Be a gain of 2, and it's going to bring up. Ooh, they'll actually take that yardage away from Roberts, say he made a football move when he went backwards, and make it no gain. 2nd and 10. Kruger throws it to the near side of the field this time. Sekulu with a nice open field tackle by Joe Sekulu. Maybe a gain of around a yard. Plemke pulled it in for River Falls, but 3rd and long coming up for the Wildcats. 7:40 remaining. I don't think the Wildcats are going to be punting this away. This is going to be 4-down territory. They want to get back in this game. They're going to have to keep the football. So 3rd and 9 coming up. You figure River Falls have got 2 plays to get 9 yards here. Clock just under 7 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the game. Kruger from the pistol. Emholtz behind him. Send a man in motion. That's Porras. Throw it out to Porras in the flats right through his hands. And that will bring up 4th down and 9. I don't think River Falls can punt here. If they do, they're essentially waving the white flag. Clock stops, 7 to play. And yeah, the offense is going to stay on the field. So here's a spot for the Raider defense to get off the field. Just limit to them to less than 9. And the Raider offense will come back onto the playing surface. Kruger from the pistol. Send Porras in motion. Kruger in trouble. Kruger going down. Jack Koski holding Tim, pulling him down for the sack. 5-yard loss in the Raider offense. Come back out there and let's wrap this one up. The drive will start on the 49-yard line. Miles Jensen in there on the play as well. 6:55 to go. And if the Raiders can put another one in the end zone, the River Falls faithful is going to head for the automobiles. Ukitil will go under center. Senior Braden Marvin, the near side wing. Trapiccio on the far side. They'll give it to the junior Dayton Diemel, and Diemel is going to get about a yard. Looked like he was juggling that football again and wrapped it up. Kraus will come onto the field as Wiesmeyer comes off. 2nd and 9. Ukitil to Diemel again, and not much going there, and about another 1-yard gain. Going to bring up a 3rd and 8. Raiders are running some clock here. Down to around 6 minutes to play. Joe Halling on the tackle for the Wildcats. Raiders need to come up with some yards here on 3rd and 8. I think Coach Cowles will leave that offense on the field if they can get about 6 here. 5:45 to play. And Ukitil looking to throw. And through the hands of Nick Holm, and I believe the Raider punt team will come out of the field now. Raiders haven't been able to get much going in the passing game tonight. They had a couple nice passes this season from Ukitil, but just haven't been able to click this evening. Cold night, not much wind at all. Really calm, but cold. You can bet there's going to be a lot of frost on the ground tomorrow morning. Temperature probably hovering around 45 degrees, comfortable without the wind, but a little bit of a chill in the air. It makes those hands cold. Bell nearly ran out of time, but got the punt away. It's going to take a Raider bounce down to around the 20-yard line. A little scrum going on away from the ball, but no harm, no foul. River Falls will take over. 5:24 to play in the 4th quarter. Raiders lead at 28-7, but the Wildcat offense will come back onto the field here. Raiders didn't get any points, didn't even really convert a first down, but they did run off about 2 minutes. .524 to play. Kruger set from the pistol. They'll send a man in motion, and Kruger will give it to Emholtz. Emholtz pulled down immediately by Niederhauser. Jake Niederhauser has had a really nice night tonight. Weatherman just told me it's 39 degrees here tonight right now. Instantaneous weather. Kruger flings it out to the left side. Believe it's complete. It's going to be just shy of the first down. Alex Shaw makes the tackle. Third down and about 1 yard. Completion to Grove for River Falls. Third and short for the Wildcats. Kruger gets it to Emholtz, and Emholtz will have the first down. Needed a yard, got about 3, maybe 2. Either way, it moves the chains. Alex Shaw makes the tackle along with Bryce DeSharm. Clock's going to start here in a moment. 4:35 to play in the fourth quarter. Raiders with a comfortable 28-7 lead. River Falls trying to make this look respectable. Kruger pulls it down, is going to run with it, and he's going to be pulled down by Dalton Marski. Marski stops him for a short gain of about 2. Clock rolling now, 4:10 to play. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Emholtz in the backfield with Kruger. Kruger looking to throw, and he's got his man. Flag on the field, and I think it's going to be a hold on River Falls. Got the Globits, but this is going to back up the Wildcats. Raiders had a couple opportunities. You can see a couple guys coming around the edge to pull down Kruger, and one of the offensive linemen just had to make a grab to save Kruger from hitting the turf. Raiders are pinning back the ears and turning on the heat because they know the Wildcats are going to be throwing the football here. It's a fun time to play defensive line, and you know they're going to throw the football. Second and 20 here, about 22. Coming up for River Falls. Kruger finds his man. Raiders able to make a tackle immediately. Globitz pulls it in. Sukulu and Niederhauser on the tackle. He's going to set up a third down and around 12 yards here at the 31-yard line. Kruger throwing it downfield to the duck. It's going to be incomplete and fourth down coming up. Looking for Kenny Oberlin, but a poorly thrown football, and 4th and 12 coming up. Wildcats are going to go for it. Why not? Nothing to gain by punting in this situation. Fourth and 12. Kruger pulls it in. He's going to try to run for it, and I think he's short. Let's see. Yep, he's going to be short. They marked him out of bounds. 3 yards shy, and the Raider defense holds. Nice job by the Raider defense keeping them out of the end zone. Or keeping them from converting, but Raider defense still on the field. A lot of discussion going on over there. They've already moved the chains. And now they'll come off the field. First down for Hudson. The Raiders able to stop the Wildcats 3 yards shy of the first down marker. And the Raider offense will come onto the field with 3:10 to play. Looks like senior Yuri Bronson's going to be in there. Along with Jordan Carranza will be the other wing. Trapiccio and Marvin have played most of the minutes at the wings. And they're going to give it to Nick Holm up the middle. And Holm picks up around 4. Nick Holm, a junior running back. He will be the feature back next season, most likely. Well, Dayton Diemel also a junior. Share that spot. Kind of a nice thunder and lightning 1-2 punch the Raiders have with Nick Holm and Dayton Diemel. They give it to Holm again. Holm sliding out of tackles, still on his feet. And he's going to be close to a first down. Going to depend on the spot. See where they put the football down. They will give the Raiders a first down. 2.5 to play. If the Raiders get one more first down, this one's over. Evan Knutson, senior tight end, thought he was supposed to come off the field. Coach Cowles put the brakes on him, said, get back in there, young man. Give it to Holm. Holm up the middle, fighting for yardage, and another nice gain by Holm down to the 22-yard line. Gain of around 7 or 8. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 3 for Hudson. Holm will come off the field. Raiders have brought in Dom Sidambeku. And they're going to give it to Dom. And Dom is going to be short of the first down. Gain of about a yard or 2. Dom Sidambeku is a sophomore fullback, 5'8", 185. And that's the first time we've called his name this season. Get him in there. Get him a carry or 2. It's a good spot. Now Sidambeku will come off the field.
3rd down and 2.
No, he's still out there. Raiders made some wholesale changes there. Charlie Richards will come in, 3rd and 2. 56 seconds to play, and I think the Raiders, nope, it'll be River Falls calling a timeout. Yeah, Dom stayed on the field, but the Raiders made some wholesale changes, get some players into the game here against River Falls. Wildcat program down, but this is still a big rivalry for these kids. A lot of them playing in other sports, you know, their closest team in the Big Rivers Conference to Hudson. So Wildcats got a nice hockey team, some really good battles on the ice, good battles on the basketball court. Fun to beat that rival that's just 10 miles to the south of you. Get some other kids into the game. They can say, yeah, I was out there on the field when we won the Brown Jug in 2014. Charlie Richards, junior quarterback, to take the snap. Dom Sidambeku behind him. 3rd down and 1. If the Raiders are able to convert here, game's over. Raiders give to Dom, and Sidambeku up to the 10-yard line. First down for the Raiders, and they'll stop the clock momentarily with 47 seconds to play, and the Raiders will go into the victory formation here. Coach Cowles isn't one to run the score up. Clock rolling, 40 seconds to play, and I'm guessing then they will move into the victory formation. Richards will take a knee, and this one will be in the books. Charlie Richards takes the knee, and that will do it. River Falls is out of timeouts. Raiders can simply let the clock roll down. Like the fellas ready to line up, they're going to claim that Brown Jug for the 6th straight year. And that's it. So the final score, the Hudson Raiders 28, River Falls 7. Really a dominant performance from all facets. Raider defense played exceptionally well tonight. Raider offense was very efficient, put up 28 points tonight. Certainly could have put up more there at the end had they needed to. Special teams played well.
young parents, if you could please pick up your area in the stands. We don't have volunteers to help.
Congrats to the Raiders as they win the Little Brown Jug for the 6th straight season, 6 straight victories over River Falls on the football field. Coach Adam Cowles and the coaching staff comes back over to shake hands with the players. They already shook hands with the coaching staff. Raiders solidly into the playoffs now. They will hit the road next week for Eau Claire, head over to Carson Park to round out the season against Eau Claire North. And again, if they can win next week at Eau Claire North, they'll finish the season 7-2, and they're probably going to get themselves a home game to open the playoffs. So there it is, the Little Brown Jug. John Ucatil bringing it over to his buddies. And now the Raiders will bring it over to the student section.
All right, we got a bunch of senior players. Johnny Ucatel is holding up the Little Brown Jug.
There it is.
Congratulations, 2014 seniors.
The Raiders and the Wildcats have been battling over that Little Brown Jug for over 100 years. The first game played in the year 1900. This was the 97th meeting. Congrats to the Hudson Raiders. They win it tonight 28-7 over the River Falls Wildcats. For Joel Eby, who couldn't make it tonight, I'm Chris Larson. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week.